What's up, everybody? So here we are at my long-term review of the VCI Titan motors. I had set out this goal for myself to fly at least 100 packs of my typical type of freestyle flying, and if you've seen any of my flights before, you know that I gravitate towards flying like concrete office parks and things like that. So that means my motors take a good amount of abuse. So I'm looking for a new type of daily driver motor, and when looking for the motor, I want something that's good quality and I want it to be durable. I want it to really stretch that dollar. So how did these motors hold up? Well, let's go to the crash reel real quick and see what kind of carnage I put it through. Just continuing to beat the shit out of this thing. Here we go. Just full speed straight into the wall. But she still spins. Still spins. Both of them. That sucks, but that was just a hard hit right into concrete. Obviously, not an exact science, all right? But just by sheer volume of flying and crashing, I really wanted to test and see, are these things going to survive? Now, what's funny enough is that on all of my hardest crashes, these things held up. They took the licking and kept on ticking, all right? But then you have things like this. Obviously, that last little tippy tap isn't like the thing that it was the straw that broke the camel's back, but it was a culmination of repeated hits on this motor. And it did kind of confirm one of the things that I saw when I looked at these motors for the first time. And that was the distance between these spokes and the motor windings. What happens is through repeated crashes, you start to kind of smash the bearing inward, and then this squish develops and the spokes ended up cutting the windings on the stator. I do think that there's a slight revision that VCI could make to lessen the possibility a lot more, and that would be to just find a way to increase the distance between the spokes on the motor bell and the winding. So I have on another motor started to see these spokes rubbing up against the windings again. And my good buddy F-Core gave me a tip, which was, after the motor bearings are smashed in a little bit, one of the things you can do is add some additional washers between the top of the bearing and where the motor bell meets it. So I've done that, and since then, I don't believe I've seen very much increased wear and tear, but we'll see in another 100 packs or so how this thing fares. Thank you, F-Core, for that little tip. And if you don't know F-Core, you should definitely check him out. The dude is one of my favorite pilots. Just a good human being overall, and has his own kind of unique thing going on, which I like a lot. Of the 5 motors that VCI had originally sent to me, I still have 3 of those ticking. The second motor that I killed, well, it was this. So that little crash there ended up toasting some of the windings on the motor. It still flew, but it didn't have the same power, and it was on throttle blips. It was making my quad dip to one side. So that stator was pretty much toast. Now, that is a really weird crash And I don't know if I could put the blame on the motors itself. I have a feeling that it was just kind of a culmination of a lot of the wrong things happening at just the right time, which ended up cooking the motor. So I feel like I can give the benefit of the doubt to the motor and chalk that up as kind of like a freak accident. Another thing I found quite interesting about these motors is the whole efficiency thing. So a lot of manufacturers will give a claim of increased efficiency. It all feels like marketing speak. I will say though, there might be something to this whole thing with the 0.1 lamination layers and decreased eddy currents. And I saw Rosser did a video and he said,
the most efficient motor I have ever tested, the VCI Titan 2306 1850 kV, clocking in at an impressive 82.7% efficient. That's amazing for a 5-inch motor.
So I guess there is maybe something to it. But I will say that I feel like I get increased flight time with these motors. And the more flight time I get per pack is just how much more fun I get to have. I ain't mad at that. So, do I like these motors? Hell yeah, I like these motors quite a bit, actually. I like these motors so much, in fact, that I built a whole second quad with some freshy VCI Titan motors, and I went and bought myself an additional set of spare motors. So I went out and bought, 4, 8, 9 more spare motors of my own, on my own dime. So I like these motors quite a bit. I mean, take a closer look at all the damage that these things have seen so far. The durability thing has been working out the way I had hoped it would. For 2024 and onward right now, I mean, this is gonna be my motor of choice as my daily driver. And I think if you're looking for a new motor, this is definitely worth considering. If you're in the US, Wrecked is a great place to find these motors. They're still coming in at around $18.99, I believe. At the time this video is put out, they might have gotten another shipment of these motors in, so you can give them a try for yourself. And I'm also happy to say I am partnering up with Wrecked. So if you go on there and you purchase anything, including these VCI motors, just use the promo code DANZ to get 10% off your order. All right, there you have it. That's my long-term review of the VCI Titan motors. I think they're pretty sick. And now I'm gonna try to enjoy them. So if you've made it all the way this far, thank you for watching. If you get a set of these, let me know what your experiences are in the comments down below. All right, I'm gonna fly. You guys should do the same. Okay, one little bonus thing here. At this fly spot I've been coming to lately, there's this bird that nests near where we like to fly, and it's really cool. And if anybody can identify this bird for me, I'm gonna send you something. Every time I get close to its nest, it kind of like runs away and does this like weird dance thing. It's trying to distract me from the nest. What is it? You're a cool bird.